All right, I gotta put this up one more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Don't leave. So this is Hiccup. His race name was Odin. He's only 4, and he retired because he had a fracture in his ankle. And but when he got to me, he was already healed, and so I could start retraining him right away. And he really enjoys going to work. He usually has his head out first, asking to come out and work. He does really well in the arena, but he loves going out on trail. He usually asks to go out on trail at least once a week, but he would love to do it more. So the biggest thing I ask for with these horses is when we get out to go work that we relax. So that's the number one thing is I want them to relax. And so I won't move on to anything else unless I have that relaxation. So he already knows that. That's why he's being so good. So after relaxation, then what I'm looking for is straightness. So I want a horse that will move in a straight line, will also steer, because at the track, steering is a little bit tricky. So then they come here, they do have to learn how to steer. And then the next thing I ask for is forwardness. So I want him to move forward. I know there's some poo to distract you. Sorry. And I also want him to respond to clucking. So that's important so that we know we can move forward. And then the very last step that I asked for is collection. Collection is like the most unimportant thing for me when I'm working with these guys. It's sort of the last step in their training. And you'll see him, he'll do that because I'll ask for it sort of right at the end or during some of the things, but I don't ever force it. I don't force collection, ask it. So in our walk warm up, again, relaxation is the most important. And then I'll start doing a little bit of leg yields. He's just learning how to do some leg yields. And when we get back up here to see, I'll ask him for a little circle just to see if he can listen to my inside leg, because that's the other thing about racehorses is they don't know anything about your leg. So when you start working with them, leg is a different concept. So I do a lot of voice commands. So he's very voice commanded. I could do everything just with my voice on him, but because I'm teaching him also what leg means, I will be using my legs. And then my reins, I use just a little bit as guidance. And he knows these dogs. I know that they get in the way sometimes, but he knows that he's supposed to pay attention to me. Good boy. Now, Hiccup, sometimes he can get a little hard in his mouth, a little tough, a little heavy. So I'm working on him with that to lighten up. So you'll see me when he gets a little heavy, I'll sort of do a lot of like release, hold and release, and ask him to move forward so that he lightens up his front end and just work through it. So they always say that these horses don't do anything wrong. They're just showing us what they don't understand. And that is something that he doesn't quite have the full concept of yet because it's still ingrained in him in the racetrack way of just holding his mouth and pulling on it. So that's not a problem, but it's something we work on. So I'm going to ask him for the T word, and you'll see he's very happy to do it. So I have to ask him very softly because I want a softer transition. If I ask him too big, it's going to be too big. So I'm just going to cluck twice and say the word, and try to use my seat to get him to stay back and relax because he does love to do it, and that's okay. Good. Good. So he starts off, and this is a little bit speedier than I would like, so I'm just going to use my seats very little bit with my hands. There we go. Good boy. So this is the pace I would like. Oh, now we speed up a little bit. It's okay. Again, there's nothing wrong. He's not going to get in trouble for speeding up or doing something wrong. We're just going to start to bring him back down. Good. There we go. Good. I'm going to ask him to do a circle up here. The trot circle will be a little bigger than the walk circle. Look, there you go. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. And I make sure that I usually sit on my outside seat bone to help him understand. Good. Help him understand what he should be doing. There's some trees that get in my way over here. Boy. So I would like a little bit more forward. There we go. Now I'm just going to gently ask for him to bring his head down. His relaxation and head down go hand in hand. And I'm not going to seesaw his mouth. Oh yeah, now we're getting way relaxed. Good boy. Good. No, you're all right. Yeah. We got a little scared of the dogs fighting in the middle, but that's really his spook right there. Is nothing big. It wasn't even really a spook, just a little quickness. And he's really good, like if he gets quick, if I circle, he really understands what that means. Let's see if we can just bend a little bit. There, good boy. Of course, right off the camera. Good boy. Good boy. Now we'll walk. Whoa, walk. Whoa, walk. Good boy. Good boy. And when we're going to get ready to do the C word. I can't say these words because he knows what they mean. So what I'm going to do is I ask for the T word first, and then I kiss and say the C word. And he's really good about it. Okay, son. So again, I sit up in my seat bones. We're around the corner. And I'm going to bring him down. I'm just going to say, whoa. Good boy. Now this is my super little fast trot that he gets. I'm just going to ask him to relax. Breathe. Good. Bring that head down a little bit. Good boy. Now I want a nice, beautiful trot before we go into the W word. There. Good boy. Good boy. Pay attention a little bit here. There we go. So I want him to bring his head in just a little bit before we quit this direction. So I'll just patiently wait. I'm not gonna, again, get mad at him. Good, and whoa, walk. Whoa, walk. Good boy. So yeah, so I wait until he gives what I want, and then I give him the yes and say, good job, and reward him. Good boy. Then we'll switch directions up here. See, he's already like at the gate, like, can we go out and do trail? Still gotta go the other way, buddy. So the left way was his harder way, which is why I've started him tracking to the right, because going to the left is his little bit more difficult way. He doesn't really want to bend. It's a little bit more like a submarine. So I warm him up to the right so that this way helps a little bit easier. But you'll see he's a little bit harder to bend, wants to still bend to the right. So I hold that inside a little bit stronger. And again, it's not too strong. You can see like I'm barely touching his face, but I'm going to hold that inside, push him to the outside to ask him to bend and to hold that attention onto the inside of the arena. So again, I'm sitting on my outside seat bone, putting a lot of weight to the outside. And then sometimes he wants to cut in, and I might have to be a little bit more aggressive. My legs. Here we go. Boy. And it's funny at the walk and T word, he's harder to bend to the left, but at the C word, he's actually a little easier. And I'm guessing that that's because of the track. Feels more comfortable. I'm just going to ask him to do a little circle. Now he is pretty hard, a little bit dropping in this inside shoulder. So I'm going to try to like lift him up while we're bending. And again, because like he's not doing anything wrong and I'm just trying to help him understand what I want, there's no like, no getting it wrong. So even when he drops in more, that's okay. I just keep asking for what I want and then reward when he does it. And usually the reward is the release of pressure. So whether that's from my leg or from my hands, from my seat, from my voice, that's all that is just a release of pressure. Boy. All right, so again, I'm going to ask him for the T word, and I want a smooth transition. That's also what we've been working on, is a smoother transition from the W to the T, so that it's not so exciting. So I'm going to just relax, breathe, and then ask. Boy, much better. So he started better, and then we're going a little fast, and that's okay. Let's work down. He wants to just bend like a submarine there. There we go. Much better. Okay, we finished good there. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So he is doing even better than the last time we rode. He's trying to get his bend together. He wants to come off this rail a little bit, so I'm just going to help him. And it's all about just helping him understand what I'm asking. Sit on my right seat bone, put a lot of weight there, bring him back. Good. Good. Boy. Boy. And I don't mind this forward momentum. You know, I'd rather have the forward momentum than having him be too lazy or too slow, because then I can use this. You know, now they're talking about being too lazy. Now he's like, I want to be too lazy. But I can use this to my advantage, whether that's getting him on the rail, turning him. So I never mind I'd rather them be more forward than not. But again, I want him to do what I need him, which is to relax, drop your head, make a beautiful picture, and then we can be finished with the T word. I never force, like I'm not interested in making him do it. I'd like him to decide that's what we're doing. Whether that takes a minute or 15 minutes. Good boy. Good boy. So he did nice with his head, but he dropped in his shoulder. So I want a better version of that. So he almost did it. He almost had a beautiful picture. Good. There we go. And whoa, walk. Whoa, walk. Good boy. And then I release the reins when I go down to a walk to release him and to, again, give him the reward so that he doesn't feel like he's being tight all the time. Yeah, it's a good boy. So we'll get ready for the C word. Come on. And I like to be as consistent as possible. So especially in this beginning stages, so I usually ask for the C word in the same spot every time. And in the same way if possible, just trying to be as consistent as possible for them so that it's less guesswork, less frustration, and they can figure it out nice and easy. So I'm going to do it again in this corner. So we'll ask for a little trot. And canter. That's all right. Good boy. Again, so we picked up the wrong lead, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to get him in trouble. We'll just stop and ask again. Whoa. Oh. Get that fast spot again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me just use my seat, my voice, my breath. Bring him down. Beautiful. You give me, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what I want. Whoa, walk. That was good, boy. That was a good boy. So right there, those last like 5 steps, that's the goal for where I want him to be the whole time. So he gets rewarded for that, and then he knows that that's what I'm looking for because I released the pressure. I said he was a good boy, and so now we just build on that. And if I can get that more, then we'll be doing super duper. But I'm really proud of those last 5 steps. That's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him in. Oh, sorry, I know it's unusual that I'm talking so much. I get it. Sorry. I'm going to go in the middle here and ask him to stop and tell him we're done. I'm going to ask him to back up, which can be a little bit tricky for him because sometimes he wants to fight the bit. Whoa. Oh. Boy. So we'll just help him a little. Back, back, back. And I'll just ask gently at first. Back. Good. Back, back. Good. Back. Good boy. Back. One more. Good. And then release. And so for his extra reward for being such a good boy, I'm going to take him on a little walkabout on the property to say thank you. And since that's his favorite thing to do, see, he knows what to do. You're going to open that gate for me? Push. Are you going to open it this way? Yeah. All right, let's open it together. Oh, well, not exactly. Not exactly. Try again. I'm going to try to push it that way. Ooh. Ooh, there's a good boy. So we'll just walk around the property on a loose rein. He's very good. He's a very good boy. And this is just a reward for doing a good job.